Have you ever felt like you're not enough, like your efforts don't matter, or that you're invisible to the world? That's exactly how Jake felt every single day. He was a quiet, hardworking man in his mid-30s, living in a small town just outside Toronto. By day, he worked as a mechanic at a local shop, fixing broken-down cars and helping people get back on the road. By night, he spent hours alone in his small apartment, wondering if he'd ever truly make a difference in anyone's life. Jake had always been the type to put others first. He had a heart full of kindness, but often it went unnoticed. His friends were busy with their lives, and his family had their own struggles. He had been married once, but that ended in heartbreak when his wife left him. Tired of his quiet demeanor and his lack of big ambitions. After that, Jake threw himself even more into his work, believing that if he stayed busy enough, he wouldn't have to confront the loneliness that weighed heavily on his chest. But one winter evening, everything changed. It was an ordinary night, just like the many that had come before it. Jake was finishing up his shift at the garage, wiping down his tools and preparing to head home when he heard a faint knock on the shop door. At first, he thought it was just the wind, but then the knock came again, louder this time. Curiosity got the best of him, so he went to check. Standing outside was a woman, shivering in the cold, her face pale and tired. "Excuse me," she said softly, "I've broken down just up the road. My car's completely stalled, and I don't know what to do." She was in her late 20s, and Jake could see the exhaustion in her eyes. It was clear she'd been driving for hours without thinking. Jake grabbed his toolbox and offered her a ride to her car. As they drove in silence, the snow falling softly around them, the woman spoke. Her name was Emily. She told Jake she had just moved to town after losing her job in the city and was struggling to make ends meet. She had no family here, no friends, and had been feeling incredibly isolated. As she spoke, Jake's heart softened. He understood that pain all too well. When they reached her car, Jake could see the issue immediately. Simple problem with the engine. He got to work, his hands moving with the practiced skill of someone who had spent years fixing things. Emily watched him, her eyes filled with gratitude. In that moment, Jake realized something he hadn't before. His work, though quiet and often unseen, mattered. He was making a difference in her life, not just by fixing her car, but by being there for her when she needed it most. As Jake worked, he learned more about Emily's struggles. She had recently moved away from everything she knew, chasing a dream that now felt like a distant memory. She spoke about her hopes for a new life, how she had planned everything, only to watch it fall apart when life didn't go the way she expected. Her story resonated deeply with Jake, reminding him of his own broken dreams and the isolation he felt every day. But something in her eyes, in her vulnerability, reminded him that no one's journey was ever truly alone, even if it felt like it. Sometimes by the time Jake finished the repairs, it was late, and the night was bitterly cold. Emily thanked him repeatedly, offering to pay him for the work, but Jake wouldn't take her money. Instead, he smiled and told her, "Sometimes, the best things in life come when we least expect them. I believe you're here for a reason." Emily looked at him, eyes welling up with gratitude. "I don't think you know what this means to me," she said softly. "You've reminded me that there are still good people in the world." That night, as Jake drove home, something inside him shifted. He realized that he didn't need to be famous or wealthy to make a difference. Sometimes, the smallest acts of kindness had the power to change someone's life. He had helped Emily, not just with her car, but with her spirit. And in doing so, he had unknowingly healed a part of himself as well. In the weeks that followed, Emily kept in touch with Jake, and their friendship blossomed. She found a new job in town, one that reignited her passion for helping others. And Jake, he finally began to believe in his own worth. He wasn't invisible. He was an unsung hero in his own right, and sometimes that was more than enough. The lesson was clear. Even in the darkest moments of our lives, when we feel lost and alone, we are all capable of making a difference. It doesn't always take grand gestures or fame. Sometimes, all it takes is being there for someone who needs you, showing kindness when it's most needed, and remembering that no one's struggles are ever truly theirs to face alone. And so, Jake's journey continued, not in search of fame or recognition, but in the quiet moments that made the world a little brighter, one act of kindness at a time. And he learned, at last, that the most important thing in life isn't how the world sees you, but how you see the world.